Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Zoe and this is Fox and Sloth Apothecary. Today we're doing the bubble tea and tarot part 2. So if you haven't seen my real TikTok short, I tried a new bubble tea today and I gave it a review and then we pulled some cards. So today I want to talk about my August to be read list, or pile. I always say list, but it's a pile. It's a legitimate pile. And I just want to go through the books that I hope to read this month and what my initial thoughts are so far. And then maybe we can check back in at the end of the month and see how far I got. So this is Spells for Change, a guide for modern witches by Frankie Castagna. She's also known as Chaotic Witch on TikTok. I believe she's on all the platforms as well, Twitter and Instagram. But I already started this book, as you can tell by my tabs, but I didn't get very far yet. I think I'm on page 20. And so far, I really like the way that it's set up. The writing is really casual, but also informative. It's supposed to be a good beginner book, and just kind of an introduction to all sorts of different aspects of witchcraft, and then also touching base on using your craft for change. It says change within the heart, the hearth, and the world, one spell at a time. The next book on my to be read list, this is The Poison Path Herbal, Baneful Herbs, Medicinal Nightshades, and Ritual Entheogens. And it is by Kobe Michelle. I'm going to be completely honest. I always mix up Michelle and Michael. Poison Path Herbal. This is the Coffee and Cauldrons Book Club Book of the Month. I am on page 16. And so far, it was a lot of information already. There's a lot of big words. It's obviously very scientific based. It's a little intimidating so far. I'm hoping that as I keep reading, it's not as intimidating because I really love this topic. I love learning about nightshades and baneful herbs and how that's incorporated into practice, because it's not super incorporated in my own practice, although I enjoy learning about it and would love to see how I could incorporate it in my practice. There's also a fear of my 3 tiny gremlins getting into something. So I am excited to dig into this one. My third book for my August to be read pile is hopefully finishing Braiding Sweetgrass, Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teaching of Plants, Robin Walkhammer. So I started this book probably maybe a month and a half ago. And I love it. Oh my God. I absolutely love it. I could not put it down. I was reading it. I was setting up the kids outside so that they could play so I could read outside. Oh, it was perfect. It does follow more storytelling than just straight information. But the way that it's set up is really easy to follow. Then, unfortunately, we went on vacation and it turned into this whole mess of stuff. But in that stress, I kind of stopped picking up the book because there was a lot going on. And unfortunately, I just kind of lost my motivation on reading it. But I want to pick it back up this month and I want to finish it, especially because I also started this project. So you can see that I was tabbing it and all those tabs already in it. And those are moments in the book that I either wanted to cry or actually cried. Just an empowered cry. It was oh, and just relatable. So I really want to finish this book, and I'm hoping that this is the month that I can do that. And then my last book on my to be read pile is The Book of Spells, 150 Magical Ways to Achieve Your Heart's Desire by Ella Harrison. And I picked this book up this month, and I think I've only had it probably a week, and I've already done at least 5 of the spells in here. I love the way it's set up. I would categorize this as like a coffee table book, but a useful coffee table book. Like it's not just pretty, which it is definitely like gorgeous, but it's full of information. I really like the way that all of the spells are set up. She does it in more of a easy to read, but also like storytelling way. So it's not just like tools, instructions, tools, instructions. There's a little bit of like fluff to it, which I enjoy. Like, come on, it's gorgeous. But I'm excited to not just like skim through it and like pick the things that I wanted to use, but actually like go through and actually read like every part of it. I know that there's supposed to be a part in here about writing your own spells. So I'd really love to see like what her spell template is and how that's incorporated in the book. So that is another one I want to go through again. But that is my August to be read pile. So it might grow through the month. Sometimes I pick up books throughout the month if I see something, or if a pre-order came out and it gets delivered. But that's where I want to start. I try to read at least 2 books a month. Usually one of them is a book club book. I also pick up books to expand my own knowledge and then also like write reviews throughout the month. Like I said, I try to read 2 books a month. Whether or not that actually happens, that's give or take, as you can tell, because there's books from July in my August pile. But hopefully I can get through a good chunk of these. I'm thinking that like the way that these books are, having like the 2 spell books, it'll be pretty easy for me to go through. Fingers crossed. I also write reviews of certain books. So if you saw a book in this pile that you'd like to see a full review on, let me know. Comment down below. Other than that, thank you for joining me. I hope that we can talk about all sorts of fun, like quick topics while I finish my bubble tea every other Thursday. So bye, friends.